Josh Fuga, defensive tackle for the Virginia Tech Hokies, is joining us. Josh, how you doing, man?
Doing good. How y'all? How y'all?
We're great. We're great. We're watching this game. We were hoping that Washington would make a go of it here, and now we're looking to see if this is an interception. It looks like it is.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
And Josh, make sure you got your TV volume down just so it doesn't interfere with the
Now-
interview, because we got some stuff we want to do. Pat, do you want to introduce our guest? Give him a full introduction.
Absolutely. Josh, welcome. Fired up to have you on here for the
Yes.
start of the third quarter. So Josh Fuga, defensive tackle for Virginia Tech, number 6 from Northern Virginia, has played in a remarkable 48 games in his career, and we're looking to get that number well over 60 next year. I know you're running it back here, Josh, one more
Yes.
time for the Hokies this fall. Where are you
One more
calling in
time.
from? You at home?
Yeah, I'm at home over here in Woodbridge. So chilling, just watching the game.
Nice, man. How was your break? I know you got a week left until you go back.
Yeah, it's been real good. Spent a lot of time with family and friends. Getting my brother acclimated to the weight room. So everything's good.
There we go. So just talking about the season, I mean, we had a ton of fun up in Annapolis, and I know you guys really just relished it and enjoyed it. Capping off a season like that. After the Rutgers game, we go back to September. You had some commentary where you were talking up Kyron after his first start, and you were fired up that the guys fought. It didn't go great, but you guys fought. And then there was a quote saying that the loss hurt, but you had emphasized that this team was going to keep going and that you were going to lead for the lunch pail defense and that you were going to give your all for the guys in the locker room. Did you have a feeling that the team was about to turn the corner? Like, was there a certain moment or after a certain game that you felt like, hey, we're so close?
Really going into the season, everybody had their normal hype. Everybody is, oh man, like can't wait for the season, all this and that, but I was more so like, let's just take this one game at a time, regardless of what the outcome is, let's go put in the work on the field and put on display what we have been doing off season. And off season, throughout the whole season, I knew that this team just felt different, as the camaraderie, the work ethic, the brotherhood, all the relationships that I see, it felt different. And for a team that's 2 years under a new coaching staff to turn around and do what we did, it says a lot, and it holds weight of what I said early in the season in September.
Yeah, I mean those comments they got a lot of notice, and I'm just curious, like, what was it about? Is it the staff? Is it the new Pry and the guys that he's brought in? Do they kind of give a different feeling to the locker room when it comes to those losses, that you're able to take them and be like, you know what, I still believe in this process, and I think we're just this close?
So I honestly, like I said before, it was everybody buying in, and I felt that in the off season. There wasn't a doubt in my mind that nobody's quote unquote faking it or just trying to get by and trying to get to the season. This team put in that extra work, whether it's coming in on Saturdays and trying to get an hour work in with footwork, but you see different position groups going at different times on the weekends, going in and just putting work until they cry, whether it's 20 minutes of just straight footwork or speed work for the offensive lineman, or you see defensive linemen doing handwork, and then you go out and the next hour you see the next group of receivers, DBs, quarterbacks, running backs coming in to get routes in and everything else. And is that there told me, as a veteran of the group, said this team is very different. I feel very good about the team. And, obviously we started out the season not how we wanted to, but I believed in the work that we put in that we're going to come out the way we want to come out.
That is beautiful, man. And being a veteran in that locker room, you've seen so many young guys come and go.
Mhm.
Like, when you see someone do something special in practice or in a game, it puts you on notice. Could you maybe tell us someone that stood out to you this year? Maybe one of the younger guys that you were like, wow, this guy could be special down the road.
Man, really, all the young guys. You got
And you
Jeremiah
can stick to
Coney.
defense too, since that's your side of the ball. But anywhere.
Yeah, I just want to give praise to all the young guys, really, because really the young guys is really the heart and beat of the team. As they, some go to scout team and all this, but at the end of practice, we're hearing numerous comments from coaches saying that, oh, this young guy out here giving the ones and twos the work, and that's where the Hokie Stone players come in, like that you see on Instagram. Like those are those young guys that's giving the extra effort, making sure that the guys that play on Saturday give the best looks. So I want to give a shout out to Jeremiah Coney. One guy who, obviously dealt with some things going into the season, but come back and shows that he's that hard-nosed, tough running back that everybody was talking about. Then you got the Dante Lovett, who came in, and did his thing. You got Braylon Johnson. You got Caleb Woodson, who's shout out to Northern Virginia, but he's from Northern Virginia too, on the battlefield. So I know a little bit of the Woodsons. Love his mom, love his dad, his brothers. But yeah, you got all the young guys that just bought into what we were doing in the offseason, because obviously you have the older guys and the vets that are going to play and that's trying to push everybody along. Like, come on, like this is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. We got to do this. We got to put in the extra time. But no, you got young guys already inside of the position rooms that's doing things on their own. That's in the like you don't see things. You really don't. Like it's like you go to a restaurant and you see your food come out, but you don't see what's happening in the kitchen.
No, and the funny thing was, I think Dax maybe last year put out like his day of stuff that he does,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, oh my god, these kids, like they put so much on the student athletes.
Yes.
It's unbelievable what you guys deal with, and I'm wondering, you going into this super senior year, like will they let you out of some of that stuff? Like how the veterans at training camp get out of some workouts? Like are you gonna have to
nah
with
me, I wouldn't even want to even if I was given the opportunity, I wouldn't get out in the workouts because I get to the next level. There ain't no set workout where I gotta show up 6 a.m. Now I gotta do that on my own. So I'm gonna go in the workout even if I was given the option to not go. So I'm gonna definitely go.
Well, Pat, you want to ask him about some of these portal additions, I think.
Yeah, obviously, over the last few weeks, we've had quite the amount of additions on the defensive side of the ball. Particularly at defensive tackle, at linebacker. What is your general feeling of these new defensive tackles coming in? What's the vibe around the room there with Coach Price?
Oh man, it's great. To build on to what we're losing, like Norrell Pollard, Mario Kendricks, and Fidelius Payne. Those guys are a big chunk of what we did last year. So to add some guys to fill up that position, it feels great.
Is there one of those guys that you think you would fit in well with, like whether it's Peebles or Copeland or any of the guys that might be coming up, like the younger guys? Because it's playing defensive tackle and you're seeing those three older guys go out the door, your brothers, the guys you've been playing with forever. Who do you think you fit in well with some of these new guys coming in? Because you have a distinct style than maybe Peebles does.
Yeah, so everybody has, like you said, great that you pointed out. Everybody has their own style and how they play. One person might be better than the other guy in this, vice versa the other way. Coach Price hones on that, like, I do this better than this person. This person does this better than me. But I fit in well with all the guys that's coming in. There's a reason why they're coming here to Virginia Tech, and there's a reason why I stuck here for one more year. I have no choice but to play with him. So it's not a guy that take me out if he goes in. That's not how it is. I go in, and whoever's to my right and whoever's to my left, those are guys that are going in. Let's go to war.
when you're watching this game here, you're seeing this stud Michigan defensive line. And
Yeah.
you're seeing maybe even a guy that you knew, Cam Good. Were you in the same recruiting class as Cam?
I believe so. I know Blake Corum though for sure. I know him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is, does it motivate you to see, like, when you watch a national championship and you're seeing this stud D line and guys you knew from high school? It's just like, man, is Virginia? Do you think that, like, you could get here? Is
Oh,
this
for
the kind
sure.
of this is the level that you want to reach next year?
Yeah, for sure. I believe that's what all athletes around. You watch the biggest accomplishment that the athlete can get at their sport. Obviously that goes through my mind like, dang, that could be me. Like, I could be in this position, being a two gap, or I could be in this position, rushing the passer and go tackle Michael Penix or JJ McCarthy. Like, I could be in that. But obviously we got to work towards it. So
Yeah,
it goes through my head.
yeah, and with the 12-team playoff, and if you perform
Mhm.
well in the ACC, like, who knows what could happen? Sam, I feel like you're about to say something.
Yeah, well, let's see if Washington needs a drive here. That's a really good tight end screen there to get just across midfield. Dude, Washington, and a 15-yard flag. That's huge.
Yep.
Washington's got some dudes, man. They
Oh
really
yeah,
do.
for sure. And they need to start attacking the flats and the underneath, because obviously Michigan's giving them respect to their receivers, because they got a receiving core, but there's always a hole in the defense. You just always know that.
Not to get too deep in the X's and O's, Josh, but something that Washington has done really well under Kalen DeBoer, their head coach and play caller, is also something that Tyler Bowen started to do with Virginia Tech this year, and that's they use motion on almost every pre-snap. And what that does is it kind of freezes you as a defender for a little bit because you're
Yes.
huge change. The guys you're looking at, all of a sudden they're snapping the ball, and instead of being on your toes ready to fire off, you're on your heels. How
Exactly.
big is pre-snap motion? How does that affect you as a defender and specifically as a defensive tackle in the run game?
Oh man, so as a defensive tackle, you might not see every single motion, right? But as a veteran, I'll just go through what I go through. I look at the backfield set, then I look at the line, look at splits and levels and everything. But really, all the motion is doing, as Coach Marv says, it's eye candy. It's to get your eyes out of place. But we have a thing on the defense called 44. 4 things you do before the snap. You got your alignments. You got to be in the right alignment. Then you got to be in the right stance. You got to look at your key. And then you got to know your assignment. So all this motions, everything, they do this motion to go here and then come back just to run inside zone. It's all eye candy. That's all it is. But it's very important, because if they keep on motion and everything, that means that they don't trust that you know where you're going. So it's very important to make sure your eyes are in the right place.
Now, Josh, taking it a little bit off of the field for a second, like, you're one of the personalities on the team that we've heard a lot about. Like, people speak highly of the way you're an outgoing guy. You like to have a little fun in the locker room. Is there someone that's obnoxious in the locker room? Like someone that's always trying to dance or play music or anything like that? and I'm hoping it's not you, but let me know. Is there someone that we need to know about that's kind of a fool in the locker room?
I wouldn't say a fool. Going into locker room, there's already a set playlist. Like, there's always an iPad connected to the thing, and we let that play. And if you want to listen to your own music, you listen to your own music. But there's not in the pregame. There's not one person that's not locked into that mode. Not one guy that's buddy you around, or what you would think a fool would be.
Yeah.
But at the end of the game, I'm one of those obnoxious dudes. I'm out there dancing. I'm out there hooting and hollering, throwing waters and everything.
Were you with Stu Holt when he was getting down?
Yes, I was. I'm pretty sure you see the gift the little thing that's going around when we beat who we beat. I forgot who we beat that day, but when we were dancing, yeah.
That was one of the best videos of the season was when he was getting down. Now, do you Yeah, are you a dancer? Will you get in that circle and throw down a little bit?
If it's something that my knees can handle, so if I gotta, if I feel a little bit of tension in the knees, I ain't doing it.
Do you wear the braces? Are you one of those, like, I know a lot of the offensive linemen wear the braces on their knees. Are you wearing braces when you're playing?
Nah, not when I'm playing, but we do have every single D tackle has to wear it during practice throughout the whole week. We have to wear it. Yeah.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense.
Mm.
And Pat, I was wondering. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I got a few here about the season. So we interviewed Kyron yesterday and asked him questions about moments in Lane Stadium. One, what was the loudest moment personally for you in Lane Stadium this fall?
This fall? Ooh, I say when I had my sack at Syracuse. That thing, oh man. So I think I was the second one to get the sack that game. Shout out my guy CJ McCray who helped me with that and the whole defensive line. But I say once I popped up, it was so loud to where I didn't even know what I wanted to do for a celebration. And I was like, man, I like going to the casino, so let me go ahead and shoot some dice or whatever. But that was pretty loud.
I felt like this year we saw a lot of good celebrations, whether it was out of the defensive line or it was out of the wide receivers doing their the Spider-Man meme.
Man.
Oh, that was legit. Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. So so there's a funny little story in spring camp. I think it was our last scrimmage that we had before the game. I'm not sure, but I know it was towards the end. And we had like a little celebration going on. And we had this certain package come on the field, and it was like whoever gets the sack, everybody else on the D line has to stand still like bowling pins, and the guy who got the sack rolls the bowling ball. And I was like, nah, that'll be too much. We might have to roll or do some type of punishment for doing that because it was like a real game. So I was like, why don't we just do the Spider-Man thing? Y'all ever seen that? He's like, yeah, but nah, we're not gonna do that. I'm like, okay. So I think it was actually Norrell Pollard who got the sack. And I'm like, I'm already standing still. I'm waiting for everybody else to come over here and stand still. Next, the ref threw the flag. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And at the end of the scrimmage, we had to do our little punishment, whatever, for getting the flag.
Hey,
but yeah, I wanted to do this. I wanted to do the Spider-Man, and I wanted to be the first one on the team to do it. But
do you think next year you could do the Tim Settle Penguin for us? Do you remember when he used to do that?
No, that's his thing. That's his own deal. You don't want to do that. That's like trying to take somebody's handshake because it looks cool. Okay. Nah, you can't do that.
That's fair enough.
What would you say, Josh, what would you say was your favorite singular moment from last season on defense?
Oh, man. I have a lot. It had to be either Rutgers. I'll say that whole game, I just felt in tune to my training, even though that we didn't come out on top, I felt as if like me personally, like I watched the film, like my footwork was right, everything was everything was going good. I felt as if like that was probably fundamentally one of my best games.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you had such a strong reaction after the game, is because you felt, even despite the loss, despite the fumble and everything that went on in that game and not coming out on top, you had that strong feeling that I feel like we're close. I feel like I played a good game and the guys played a good game.
Yeah, for sure. Like, even though the game didn't start how we wanted and they had this X amount of points, they had this, we was battling back a little bit, and that's what you want to see in the team, You want to see teams that battle back from how they ever started, So I felt really strong about the team, and we paid dividends at the end.
You see this question that's on the screen right here. It says, ask Josh his expectations for next year. ACC championship?
Yes. Yes.
Well, I mean, and as an athlete, you said, like, you expect the best. So you're not going to expect anything less than an ACC championship. But do you think that the Hokies and our fans should we ready ourselves to the idea that, like, we can compete at the highest level with the team we got coming back?
Mm-hmm. you like you said, you hit it on the nail. Like you expect the best going into every season. Like it's like a ongoing record player. It's the same thing that goes on every year, you know, with the same emotions and everything. But you just have to put in the work. And I believe that the work that we put in last offseason will only quadruple or whatever. Like you're gonna have those guys buy in. Even the new guys that's coming in, they're gonna buy in. They're gonna be like, what can I do to be on this team and be an impact, you know? So I believe that, you know, we're gonna have that. We're gonna have that. We're gonna
Nice,
have
man.
that ACC.
Well, I
You got
really
the
appreciate
leaders.
you coming on, and I'm sorry, Pat, I'm taking the words right out of your mouth, but we got some other guests that we're bringing onto the show. But Josh, your time, I know it's valuable, but we really appreciate you hanging out with us
Of
tonight, and
course.
we're looking forward to seeing what the team brings on the field next season.
Yes, sir. Appreciate y'all.
Later, buddy.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you, Josh. Best of luck this offseason, man.